Okay, for topic 2, it's about IS development in terms of the players and also the drivers. So we have seen several definitions about information systems, and one of the major components in information systems is about the people. Yeah. So if you can recall the components of IS, what makes up an information systems? Yeah, it consists of people, the components, yeah, people, the data, which is the database, the storage. We will have a dedicated topic on the storage. Then we have the hardware, software, as well as the procedures. All these components have to be working together in order to achieve the goal as stated for the particular information systems. Right. So today we will be looking into the players. The one of the major components is the players or the people, and the categories of people that that play the role in IS development, as well as the drivers. Drivers means the factors that promotes the development of IS. Okay. So the objectives of this topic. Um, sorry, yeah. So again, yeah, the objectives for this topic. First is to identify. Do you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Sorry about the background.
It's okay.
Okay. So to identify different types of stakeholders who use or develop IS and give examples of each. What does it mean by stakeholders? Okay. They are part of the people. They are part of the players here, right? Then define the unique role of systems analyst. I will explain the systems analyst, right? Then skills needed to successfully function as IS analyst. IS analyst is a general role. Okay, there is no such thing today. Yeah, there is no such thing in the working environment as yang diberikan position as IS analyst. But there are posts in development that actually menjalankan tugas-tugas sebagai IS analyst. We will see what the roles are, right? Then describe the current business drivers in terms of business perspective, what promotes and influence the development of IS. Okay, two types of drivers that we'll be looking into is the business drivers and technology. Remember from very beginning, I've mentioned that in ISE, in this class, you will be looking into those two perspectives in terms of the business as well as the technology. This one, okay, so I can relate so much with regards to your class project nanti. Okay, they are making so much noise. I think I will have to change place. Boleh ya? Sekejap Give me about 5 minutes. Ini atas.
Okay.
Boleh lah, Teh.
Hello, Doctor, are you okay?
I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know. I know you feel it too. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know. I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know. I know you feel it too. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know. I'm so curious, but your boy wanna keep it cool. But I know every time you move, got me frozen. I get so shy, it's obvious. Yeah, catching feels like butterflies. If I say what's on my mind, when I hit bullseye, shoot, I'm ready, aim and fire. Baby, I wow, feel like Cupid's on life, yeah, yeah, tonight. Yeah, tonight. If your heart beats the same way, let me know. 'Cause I boom, boom, boom from head to toe. And I know love, it is such a funny thing, a mystery, oh Lord. Gotta get to know you more. 'Cause I can feel a real connection, a supernatural attraction. I got the feels for you, yeah, 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 yeah. You have stolen my heart, oh yeah. Never let it go, oh, oh. No, never let it go, oh, oh, oh. Lightning straight to my heart, oh yeah. I got all the feels for sure, yeah. I got all the feels for ya. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know you feel it too. Sway in the moonlight, dance in the dark, I know that I caught your eye. Are we on the same vibe? I wonder what's on your mind. You got me good and I wanna be a fool. If it's down, well, I wanna be a fool. Underneath the neon lights, baby, electricity tonight, baby. I know love, it is such a funny thing, a mystery, oh Lord. Gotta get to know you more. 'Cause I can feel a real connection, a supernatural attraction. I got the feels for you, yeah, 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 yeah. You have stolen my heart, oh yeah. Never let it go, oh, oh. No, never let it go, oh, oh, oh. Lightning straight to my heart, oh yeah. I got all the feels for sure, yeah. I got all the feels for ya. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know you feel it too. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know you feel it too. You got my attention, so what's your intention? You tell me, baby, what's the deal? Oh, one look and I know it, baby. My eyes reveal that you give me the feels. So yeah, all my heart, oh yeah. Never let it go, oh oh. No, never let it go, oh oh oh. Lightning straight to my heart, oh yeah. I got all the feels for sure, yeah. I got all the feels for ya. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know you feel it too. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know I get the feels. Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know you feel it
Maiden tak
too.
open mic.
Boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, I know you.
Okay, right. So we will be discussing on the drivers from the perspective of the business as well as technology. Okay, these two drivers will be influencing the IS development. Okay, we will see how it goes. And finally, we will have a look at the simple process. This is just a review for you. You have gone through development, several developments of systems. So we will be looking into a simple process, the simple description for developing IS. So this will be um, covered in this topic, inshallah. Right? Okay. So let's have a look at the stakeholders as the players, right? Okay. So definition of stakeholders. Alright, definition of stakeholders. Kita tengok kepada definition dahulu regarding stakeholders. Alright, stakeholders is any person who has an interest in the existing or proposed information systems. Okay, be it an information system that is already or currently being used, or an information systems that is being proposed. So in order for you to develop the system, there will be people involved. Or if you are looking into a current system that is being used in the organization, as we say, as use, yeah. So who is using, right? So the people who use the system as we call as users is part of stakeholders. So stakeholders is not necessarily only users. There are several types of stakeholders that we will see that in the definition later. Okay, they can be technical or non-technical workers. Okay, they may also include both internal and external workers. So what it means by I believe that you understand what it means by non-technical or technical workers. Okay, on top of that, they can also be internal and external workers when we look at the perspective of an organization. Okay, now with this, let me do. Okay, from the perspective of IS. So these are, if you see on the left hand side, they are the players. Okay, so who are the players? Basically, we have the systems analyst and project manager. Okay, because an IS development are always considered to be a project. Therefore, if we are conducting a project, there must be a project manager. Besides that, there are also systems analysts, which we will be discussing what are the roles, yeah, played by systems analysts. Okay. So who are the players? They can be the system owners. Okay. They can be system users that I mentioned just now, who they are the ones who use the system. There are system designers as well as builders. What's the difference between designers and builders? Is that designers, they translate business requirements that comes from systems analysts, yeah, into a feasible technical solution. Okay, they just design it. They don't build. So the design that they produce, yeah, the design produced by the designers will be passed over. The design blueprint, yeah, will be passed over to the builders or to the developers to actually construct, deploy, and maintain the IS. So when we talk about stakeholders, these are the people that are involved. Tak boleh kita nak kata kalau stakeholders kita fokus kepada user saja. No. Yeah. It can be owners. Who are owners? They pay for the system. They are the ones who pay for the system to be built and operated. Okay. Ini the subsequent slides explain into more detail regarding the stakeholders. So system owners, yeah, they are the ones who sponsor. When we talk about sponsor, it deals with money. They are the ones who fund for the project. Executive advocates, right? They are responsible for funding the project of developing, operating, and maintaining the IS. They are the owner of the system. Look at any systems that you can think of. There must be an owner. Okay, because they are the ones who actually fund for the project, yeah, in terms of developing, operating, and maintaining the system. Now, users, right? A customer, they are the ones, or we call them as customers, who will use or is affected by an IS on a regular basis. So what do? They are the ones who capture, validate, enter data into the system, responding to the system, yeah, storing and exchanging data and also information. They are the direct people who use the system. The owners, yeah, the previous one, owners ni mungkin ada yang menjadi user, mungkin hanya fund for the project but don't use the system. There are possibilities in that situation. Right. So users, there are internal users, internal system users. Siapa internal system users ni? They can be the clerical and service workers, technical and professional staff, supervisors, middle managers and executive managers. Internal ni apa maksudnya? Internal to the organisation. The organisation that whereby the IS is being deployed, right? And the people who use the system in the organization, they are called the internal system users. There are also external system users. For instance, customers, suppliers, partners, yeah, employees, right? And employees also can be the people who use the system remotely, right? Users who are not physically located on the premise, but who still requires access to the systems, and there are also mobile users. This two, yeah, in terms of this two, yeah, yang paling banyak diguna pakai sekarang ni lah. We cannot get away when we talk about users. We have to consider about the remote users and the mobile users, right? Okay, so let me just kejap Okay, you see the canvas, yeah? I'm about to explain the internal and external users, right? So say that this is an organization. No. Okay, this is an organization. All right. So the people inside the organization who use the system inside, they are called the internal users. And the internal users can be technical and also non-technical. Yeah. And outside the organization, we have customers, we have shareholders, all right? And what else does it mention just now? Suppliers, partners. They are the stakeholders that is external to the organization, meaning to say that although they don't work in the organization, but somehow they need to access the system located or used in the organization. Okay, for instance, yeah, let's say the organization is Maidin. Katakanlah ni Maidin. Okay, so who are the internal users of Maidin? Can you name several users of several internal users of Maidin?
Product supplier.
Supplier, they are not internal. They are external. Because they don't
Vendor.
work with Maidin.
Okay, supervisor.
Supervisors, yes. Okay, you have to distinguish between the internal users and also external users. Internal users are the ones who work in the organization. Okay, whereas the external users are people or stakeholders that is outside the organization, but somehow they are using some parts of the system in the organization. Macam saya kata Maidin ni tadi lah. Ya. Supervisor is the internal user of a system. For instance, inventory system. Let's talk about inventory system. Okay, inventory system, ya. Maidin inventory system. What does the inventory system do? Keep track of the stock. Okay. Then,
Update.
okay, update apa?
Update
Update apa
update the stock.
Hasif? Update the stock. Okay, so that is among the functionalities that an inventory system does. Okay, so based on the functions that you mentioned regarding inventory system, kalau internal user dia buat apa? Apa boleh internal user buat dengan sistem tu? Okay, that is partly manual lah tu. Bila nak kira barang tu partially manual. Okay, tak apalah. Okay, betul lah tu. Ya, supervisor dia nak update stock. Right? Dia nak update berapa bilangan stock. So, dia kena kira dan dia akan update dalam sistem. That is internal user. But what about external user? Contohnya supplier. How does the supplier outside Maidin use the inventory system for? Okay. Order barang. Itu satu. Ya. Which actually order barang ni dah quite outdated. Ya. Yang mana sekarang ini most organizations they have an fully automated inventory system in the sense that whenever the supply needs to be replenished, the system will be alerting the suppliers automatically. Tak payah supplier nak kena check ataupun supplier kena tanya dekat dalam kepada the internal users of the system. Okay, the system itself will be alerting the supplier. Okay, and the supplier will then be interacting with the inventory system of Maidin. Tapi bukan semua function lah. Ada setengah function yang supplier tak boleh access because they are external. They have limited functions. Okay, so you have to understand regarding the difference between internal and external users of the system. All right. Okay. Let's continue with the slides. Slow lah pula. Astaghfirullah. Sorry, banyak pula obstacle saya ni. Ya Allah. Hai. Okay, let's continue. Astaghfirullah. Okay, yeah. Right, you see the slides of external system users?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. All right, so the next set of stakeholders, yeah, they are the system designers and system builders. Okay, whereby when we talk about system designers, yeah, they are the technical specialists, as I've mentioned just now. They translate the users' business requirements, yeah, gathered and analyzed by systems analysts, and translate them into technical solution. Somehow the designers don't build the system, they will be coming up with a design blueprint that will be passed over to the builders. Now the main chunk here is the systems analyst. Okay, so who are these people? Systems analysts, they are specialists, yeah, who study the problems and needs of an organization to determine how people, data, processes, and IT can best accomplish improvements for a system. So you see this people, data, processes, and IT is actually components of IS. Okay, so systems analyst, this is the role that you are doing in ISP550. Being the information systems engineer, you are playing the role as the systems analyst as well, because you will have to identify the problems that is faced by the organizations, yeah, and propose the best solution to the problems that they are facing. Right. Now, analyst as a problem solver. I keep on mentioning about problems. Okay. So by problems that need solving, in general, we call it as problem, right? But problem can be, okay, number one is of course problem. It's either real or anticipated that require corrective action. Okay. When we say this problem, there exist complaints from the people. So we are trying to solve the complaints being raised, okay, that needs the corrective action. I believe that CS259, you are in part 5, you are already, uh, you have registered for CSP 600, kan? So by now, you are trying to refine the problem statement for your CSP 600. Okay, right? So you have to know what the problem is in order for you to solve by conducting your project. So the project that you will be conducting is actually to solve problem. That's why you have a dedicated paragraph on problem statement. Okay, but the problem can also be opportunities or directives, which means that there is a situation whereby there is no complaint. Everyone is happy with the current situation, no complaints, but you have an idea to improve a situation. Okay, we call it as opportunities. And thirdly is about directives. This is to change a situation regardless of whether anyone has complained about the current situation. And we talk about directives, it normally comes from the top management. The users may not have any complaints of the current situation, but there are directives from the upper management to do something about the system. Okay, so when this directive, no choice, you have to solve it. Okay, with or without complaints. Now, besides the stakeholders that we have mentioned before, there are also other stakeholders, for instance, external service provider, okay, and also project manager. External service provider can be as a system designer, system builders who sells his or her expertise or experience to other businesses. In short, we call them as consultants, right? To other businesses because they sell expertise and experience, meaning that they are the consultants in order to help other businesses. They advise other businesses on solving the problems that the organization might be facing, right? Besides that, we also have project managers. Project managers are experienced professionals who accept responsibility for planning, monitoring, and controlling projects with respect to schedule, budget, deliverables, customer satisfaction, technical standards, and also system quality. So in topic 4, of ISP550, we will be elaborating further on the roles of a project manager. We touched the topic on project management because you are conducting a project. So if you are conducting a project, you have to know what are the things to be controlled. Before controlling, you have to plan, you have to monitor and control the projects. Okay, so you have to know about the schedule, budget, and deliverables so that your project will be delivered on time. Yeah. Okay, besides that, we mentioned about digital economy. Okay, so digital economy, yeah, has understandably accelerated as the COVID-19 pandemic gave birth to new digital businesses. Nowadays, yeah, bukan nak kata sebelum COVID dulu tak ada langsung, ada, tapi the COVID-19 pandemic is actually another factor that forced traditional brick and mortar enterprises to pivot online and saw millions of Malaysians go virtual for e-commerce. Banyak dah sekarang ni with the online platforms. Yeah, this relates so much to the class project. Saya akan terangkan selepas ni. right? And we have the My Digital, that outlines the plan to accelerate Malaysia's progress. Semua ni ada. Okay, dalam Malaysian punya planning lah. Right. So digital economy and 4IR. What is this? Okay. This is where digital technologies are being widely adopted. Okay. And according to the 4I WEF, 4IR involves a fusion or integration of technologies, blurring the lines between the physical, digital, and biological domains, as shown in figure 1 here. Yeah. 4IR includes fundamental changes in the economy similar to previous in the industrial revolution. So we have previous industrial revolution from 1IR to 3RR, 3IR. So now we are in the 4IR. So 4IR ini banyak dibincangkan, and this is where you play your role. Okay, so 4IR technologies, we are now looking for cloud computing, big data, VR, augmented reality, IoT, AI, right? They combine, there is an overlapping segments of digital with the physical and biological technologies. So kalau physical technology ni, we have autonomous vehicles, advanced robotics. Ni dulu daripada physical punya technology, right? Combined with biological in terms of neurotechnology, synthetic biology, bioprinting, genetics, all combined with the digital technologies, we come up with the 4IR. This is where we are right now. Okay. This is the evolution of industries daripada 1IR dulu, industry 1.0, mechanization using water and steam power dulu ya. Tengok ni gambar train yang gunakan steam, dulu pakai charcoal, pakai steam and so on. So industry 2.0 start using mass production or using the electric power. Okay. 3IR, production automation using digital technologies. Okay. And then industry 4.0, starting with manufacturing, intelligent networking of machines and processes with the help of ICT. And 4IR, it also looks into the all aspects of human life. Okay. And this from industry 3 to 4IR, it provides opportunities for greater growth in digital economy, green economy, and circular economy. I hope that some of you might be looking into these perspectives for your FYP. Okay, this is the in thing or the current thing that you should be looking for your final year project, yeah? Okay. Now, looking back to the topics just now, all right, we are supposed to be discussing on the business drivers for today's IS. There are listed 7 business drivers, but I will be discussing only 4 of them. Okay. So what are among the drivers? They are the globalization of the economy, e-commerce and business, security and privacy, as well as collaboration and partnership. This one, whether you realize it or not, memang kita guna pakai dalam kita punya daily life for our daily transactions and so on. So what about globalization of economy? They bring new and expanded international markets, new international competitors. Okay, so if you can recall about how businesses are being conducted before we use the digital platform, semuanya menggunakan brick and mortar. Okay, so itu kita tengok daripada perspektif lokal. Kalau international pula, katakanlah kita nak beli barang dari luar negara, there was no platform then. Tak ada ya. Okay, platform yang menyediakan jual beli antara negara, between countries. If we were to purchase some things from abroad, It's either we have to get somebody ya ataupun kenalan kita yang ada di negara itu untuk belikan, and then they will send it to us, physically send it to us. Itu sajalah cara yang kita boleh um, beli barang daripada luar negara, and then we have to pay them. So nak bayar balik kepada, katakanlah you nak beli barang daripada UK, so you have to get an acquaintance, probably you have relatives over there, belikan barang, katakanlah harga barang tu 30 pound sterling, so plus postage comes up to 50 pounds. So masa you nak bayar dekat dia, you kena convert the 50 pounds tu kepada RM, tahu the value of RM. So lepas tu you kena pergi dekat bank, telling them that okay, I have to send 50 pounds to this person. So bank akan nyatakan berapa equivalence to RM. That is how tedious if you were to buy products from abroad. But now we have a lot of platforms, marketplaces yang offerkan platform untuk kita membeli barangan daripada luar negara. Okay, so we have new and expanded international markets. Not only that, we also have international competitors. Sometimes, whether you realize it or not, when we purchase products daripada luar negara, lebih murah. Plus shipment lebih murah daripada kita beli local products. There are certain products, especially baju-baju ke apa ke, you tengok dekat Indonesia and China, sometimes you kira or you buat analysis sikit, the products from there lebih murah, walaupun dia kena hantar kemari. Okay. Sekejap. Somebody saying something. Yes, Iqbal, Shopee, barang China. Shopee bukan daripada China je sekarang kan? Indonesia pun ada. Okay. Alright. Then, okay, so what happens? The globalization of economy, how do they impact the information systems? So it requires support of multiple languages, currency exchange rates, and business cultures. I know that you are so well versed with Shopee. So kalau sometimes you nak tahu lebih lanjut tentang sesuatu barangan and that product is from China and you want to chat with seller, Shopee normally will notify you that you are about to communicate with an outside seller kan. Dia kata international seller or something. So you have to use proper English. Tak boleh nak cakap bahasa Melayu sebab they won't be able to understand. Alright? Okay, so multiple languages, currency exchange rates, Shopee itself is providing the exchange rates. They are doing the calculation about the exchange rates and also the business cultures, right? Require consolidation of international data and also demand for people who can communicate orally and writing with management and users that speak different languages. So macam mana how do you think that these people is able to do transactions on Shopee? Macam China especially lah, right? Kita perlu, Shopee perlu sediakan orang yang boleh communicate in oral and also in writing, yang faham different languages. Right, and that is why the university sediakan third languages for you all. Okay, so macam-macam bahasa the third language yang you boleh buat pilihan kan. Kenapa? Sebab kita nak sediakan you be able not only to work outside, meaning to say work outside of Malaysia, but also you can be translators. Translators are very much needed nowadays. Then from the factor of for the driver of e-commerce and e-business, again actually dia benda ni overlapping. Cumanya e-commerce e-business ni kemungkinan hanya berlaku dalam negara sahaja, tapi now it is expanded with the globalization. So what is e-commerce and e-business? These are the buying and selling of goods and services using the internet. Okay. And e-business is the use of internet to conduct and support day-to-day business activities. I believe that these two differences and also similarities have been discussed when you learn ISP 500 in part 3. Semua ni telah ada dibincangkan. Yeah. So types of e-business and e-commerce, we have business to consumers and business to business. So apa contoh platform B2C? Yang you selalu pakai platform for B2C?
eBay? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Shopee.
Shopee, yes, of course. What about business to business?
Alibaba.
Right. Tapi Alibaba pun sometimes dia ada business to consumer direct kan? They provide that as well. Contohnya kalau you sebagai individual bukannya daripada business, Alibaba still entertains you. Okay? But mainly it's about business to business. What about consumer to consumer? C2C.
eBay, mudah.my.
eBay. Ya, mudah.my, Carousel. Ya, so semua tu adalah on C2C. Okay. So what about the impacts on information systems? Yeah. Now most new IS are being designed for internet or intranet architecture. So the architecture to build up the IS, have to cater for internet and intranet. No more is untuk nanti sekejap lagi saya akan terangkan tentang class project and I will relate it to this. Okay. Now this is an example of electronic storefronts. Yeah. It's Shopee of course, and then we have Ariba. Ariba ni SAP, dia lebih advance, bukan nak kata lebih advance lah, alternative to SAP. Sebab SAP dia dedicated kepada organizations, right? But Ariba is web based, right? And then the third business driver is about security and privacy. So with the growth of the e-commerce and business, macam mana kita nak handle security and privacy? This is very, very important. Recently kan kecoh sebab jabatan dikatakan bahawa jabatan pendaftaran were selling our data. Kan? Data is an asset nowadays. I believe that you dapat calls daripada telemarketers dan kalau tak bernasib baik dapat daripada scammers juga. So sometimes probably we wonder where do they get our data. Okay, our data is everywhere. Jangan nak kata kita punya data tu confidential. Tak ada lagi dah confidentiality of the data. Cuma yang kita boleh hanyalah control. So don't simply if you purchase products from Shopee ke daripada Lazada ke apa-apa ke, don't simply throw away your information tu. Kan dekat stiker tu, kan? You punya address, you punya information apa semua tu. Jangan suka-suka hati buang without destroying it first. Normally saya akan gunting dulu ataupun saya akan conteng dulu sehinggalah maklumat tu tak nampak. Barulah buang. That's the least that we can do lah. Right? So, the importance of security and privacy has increased as much as more platforms of e-commerce and e-business are available, right? Now, about collaboration and partnership, organizations seek to break down the walls that separate organization departments and functions. Now, kebanyakan organizations, they collaborate with outside business and partners and even with competitors. There is no such thing that this is my area, you cannot intervene into my area. Tak. Kebanyakannya dah we call that they communicate with the partners. Not only collaborate with partners, they also collaborate with competitors. right? So with that, how does that impact on IS? We need to provide secure and for external access, and also data exchange between different information systems. Probably, let's say there are two organizations doing partnership, organization A and B. They might be using different types of IS on different types of platform, but somehow they need to communicate among themselves. So we bila saya cakap we tu, as developers or information systems engineers, we need to actually ensure that passing data between the organizations are possible walaupun mereka pakai different platform of IS. Okay, so that is about the business drivers. Before we go on to the technology drivers, can we go to the slides of your class project and let's have a look at that. Ya, dah tengok kat Google Classroom ya. Alright. You see this project description?
Nampak.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. So again, due to COVID-19 crisis, when it starts, when it began, it's about e-commerce, online grocery system against essential retailers across the world. Grocery shops need a strategic, well thought out plan to transform its presence and offering best services as consumers turn to digital methods to buy groceries. Okay, we were talking about e-commerce just now. So now your task is regarding the to provide an online grocery system. Okay, the plan must include a high quality e-commerce website, dependable logistics, fine-tuned inventory management, and also reliable multi-channel convenience. So what your task will be, this one you dah buat dah. Okay, and ensure that every group has its a group leader. Okay, now what you have to do, first identify an organization dealing with groceries. Ya, tak nak organisation yang deal dengan handphone ke apa ke, but groceries. So what you need to do, study how purchases are currently made. Probably some of you is wondering, macam mana pula purchases currently made? What's so difficult about it? You go there, you take a card, and then you put everything in the card, and then you make payment. Okay, this is the thing that you have to identify. Currently, macam mana? Okay, and also study how products are organized and categorized. This is the core thing of it. Okay, so organization of products, contoh ya, sabun and beras. Okay. Sabun is non-organic. Beras is considered to be organic. Okay. On top of that, kita boleh juga categorize sabun as I don't know what kinds of categorization. Okay, non-food. Okay, beras is under food. Okay. You should be studying about the organization of your concern on how they categorize the products. Contoh you boleh tengok ialah dekat Tesco online. Okay, Tesco has categorized their products. And they have a portal. They already have the e-commerce portal in the sense that consumers are able to purchase products from the portal. Unlike 99 Speed Mart, you boleh search ya lepas ni. 99 Speed Mart hanya ada website. Apa beza portal dengan website? Website dia tu hanya memaparkan apa yang dia jual. No transactions can be done through 99 Speed Mart website. And the products are not being categorized. Dia cuma display every single thing that they have in the shop. They only have a website. Okay, but no transactions can be done. So your task, yeah, identify that and then propose a new concept grocery store that has no queues or checkout counters. Yeah, technology works via website. No mobile application. We don't want you to come up with a mobile application. The technology works via website. Okay. The website allows shopper to shop conveniently. Shoppers can select items according to categories, right? System automatically calculate and bills you later and payment will be done via online. So this system perhaps enhances shopping experiences and provide a much needed boost for brick and mortar stores. Yeah, not to say to replace, it is an alternative of brick and mortar. We cannot demolish the shop. Okay, the grocery and convenience store markets are extremely high. With the system, it can change people's shopping habits. Right. So your task is actually to identify the shop, to identify the shop to be your stakeholder, right? Study on how people purchase things through the shop and also study how the shop categorizes the products that they sell. Yeah, before you can propose the online grocery system. Okay. All right. Any questions so far regarding our lecture and also the project?
So far, no questions, madam.
So far, no question. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's take 5. Ya, sekejap. Nanti kita akan sambung balik pukul 3:11. Right? Okay, Assalamualaikum again. I won't be switching on my camera. Saya tak nak lagging lagi nanti. Let me just record this. Okay, we'll continue with the technology drivers. Yeah, we have mentioned about the business drivers or the factors that promotes the development of IS from the business perspective. Now we are looking into the technology drivers. Yeah, the factors that promotes the development of IS from the perspective of technology. All right. So among the technology drivers, yeah, they are the networks and the internet, of course, mobile and wireless technology, okay, object technologies, collaborative technologies, and enterprise applications. So among, sorry, what will be discussed here? Okay, let's have a look at the first one in terms of networks and the internet. You know what they are, right? So the most pervasive networking technologies are based on the internet with regards to XHTML, XML, yeah, scripting languages, the intranets, extranets, portals, web services. Yeah, these are the perspective. These are the technological perspectives. Yeah, that actually enhance the development of IS. Besides that, we have mobile and wireless technologies. Yeah, before this, we only use mobile uh, phones merely for making calls, receiving calls, and with regards to messages, yeah, we use the mobile phones only to send and receive messages. But with the advancement of technologies, mobile and wireless technologies are now being used for many, many other things, right? So with the advancement, right? How does that impact on IS? Right. We say that wireless connectivity must be assumed. Okay. Contohnya ya. Sekarang ni kita pergi mana-mana, rumah rumah kawan or your relative and so on. Yeah. The new norms now is that you are asking for Wi-Fi password. Assuming that the house is a wireless subscriber. Okay, kita memang assume bahawa setiap rumah di Malaysia ni ada internet access. Whereas sebenarnya tak, ada lagi kawasan-kawasan yang belum mendapat the internet access. But we are assuming that the wireless connectivity is accessible or what you call that, ada di mana-mana kawasan perumahan. Okay. And somehow limitations of mobile devices and screen sizes must be accommodated. We can see that there are mobile apps and dia ada dua version. Anything tu dia ada dua version. Satu ialah mobile punya version, satu lagi ialah web version. Kenapa kita ada dua version? Web version dan mobile version. Satu ialah bila web version tu normally kita access through computers that have larger screens, right? But when we opt for mobile apps, we have to consider that mobile devices are much smaller than the computers. So kita tak boleh nak translate daripada web application directly to mobile apps, assuming that the apps will fit the size of the devices. Tak, it doesn't work that way. That is why ada dua version. And remember that with regards to your project, yeah, we are looking into the web applications. Kita tak nak you come out dengan mobile application. Buat web application dahulu. Okay. Maybe later on, somebody who wants to translate into mobile apps kemudian boleh. Tapi kita nak start off dengan web application dahulu. Okay. And then with object technologies, with the advancement of banyak languages ni, including C++, Java, Smalltalk and .NET. Ini kebanyakannya promotes the development of IS. Okay. And then we have collaborative technologies. Okay. They are those that enhance interpersonal communications and teamwork. Email, instant messaging, groupware, workflow with the collaborative technologies, it promotes more development of IS. Sekarang ni you nak, especially when you come up with group work, macam-macam platform kita guna pakai. Not only email, kita guna pakai WhatsApp. Okay, ada application juga, for instance Trello, Jira and so on. They are there to assist you in doing group work, collaborative technologies. Alright. Then what about enterprise applications? What does it mean by enterprise applications? Okay, it says that virtually all organizations require a core set of enterprise application. For instance, financial management, human resources, etc. These applications are frequently purchased, and somehow once you purchase the application, it's a very huge application, need to have custom elements added. Okay, contoh kat sini. Next slide in regarding the applications. This is also a review. You have done this, you have seen this in your ISP500 as well. Okay, we talk about ERP, whereby in ERP kita normally, there are modules that handles the financial management, human resource, operations management, and marketing and sales. This is internal to the organization. So external to the organization, back to the diagram yang saya lukis tadi, it will interact with CRM, that reaches out the customer's end. Okay, and the ERP will also interact with supply chain management that actually interacts with the supplier and also the distributor. This is the complete one. Tapi kalau ERP bukan kata tak complete. This is we are talking about the internal to the organization. Yang ni CRM and SEM is external to the organization. Saya tak elaborate on this because you have learned in ISP 500. Buka balik nota tu. Okay. Alright, so ERP is a software application that integrates IS that span most or all of the basic core business functions. Okay, and the representative of ERP vendors, contohnya ada SSA, Oracle, PeopleSoft, and SAP. This is the most common one, right? For supply chain management, okay, this is a software application that optimizes business processes for raw material procurement through finished product distribution by directly integrating the logistical information systems of organizations. So who are the players of supply chain management? Again, SAP is everywhere. SAP juga menghasilkan supply chain management application. Okay, this is a typical supply chain daripada supplier, okay, go to the manufacturer in terms of factory, okay, that is demanded by the customers, and okay, but before reaching the customers, the we call that the products will have to be distributed to the branches and to the stores. This is the complete supply chain daripada suppliers end to the customers end. Right, another example of supply chain from the farm. You can imagine the example of KFC ke McD ke kan, okay, daripada ladang ayam tu, alright, they undergo some kinds of processing to the ayam sembelih and so on, okay, sampai kepada processing plants, and they are using freight companies to distribute the ayam, to the chickens, And then the freight companies will then be distributing to the restaurants. Okay. All of this need to have proper information systems. These are untuk freight companies ni, dia ada information systems for logistics, to handle logistics. Distribution center pula ada information system dia sendiri. Okay. Sehinggalah the end product tu sampai kepada restaurants. Okay. Okay. What about customer relationship management? This is a software application that provides customers with access to business processes from initial inquiry through post-sale service and support, and representative of the players, again, SAP is there. Okay. Somehow, in order to talk with each other, contoh balik kepada diagram ni, in order for the systems to talk with one another, kalau same platform tu tak ada masalah sangat. Katakanlah CRM menggunakan platform lain, ERP platform lain, SEM platform lain. So how do all this system collaborate or interact with one another? So itu kita perlukan EAI, or we call in short, they are the enterprise application integration. Okay, so what are they? They are the process and technologies used to link applications to support the flow. Okay, dan salah satu apa ni? In other words, they are called the middleware. Yeah, the software used to translate the root data between different applications. All right, and who are the players? We can see that IBM is one of them. They provide or they supply middleware. Apa dia middleware? Middleware ni macam orang tengah, ya, yang membolehkan communication among the software. A small version of it is API lah, Application Program Interface. This is also a middleware. Okay. So EAI or the middleware, okay, nampak ni kat sini ni. Okay, EAI sits here whereby it enables the communication between the CRM, supply chain, and other purchase applications in ERP. All right. Okay, so we have seen the drivers, we have seen the stakeholders, the types of stakeholders. We have seen the drivers in terms of business and also technology. We have touched on ERP, supply chain, as well as CRM, as well as enterprise application integration and middleware. The last part of topic 2 is regarding the systems development process yang saya akan terangkan secara ringkas sahaja. Okay, and this process applies to all development. But we will be going into each of it in the subsequent topics. Okay, so system development process, yeah, it is a set of activities, methods, and best practices, deliverables, as well as automated tools that stakeholders, remember what the stakeholders are, used to develop and maintain information systems and software. So what about the approach? Apa dia the general problem solving approach? Remember what problem is. They can be the problem itself. It can also be directives as well as opportunity. So identify the problem. All right. First, you have to identify the problem. That's why you have the problem statement. Then analyze and understand the problem. Identification is not the same as analyzing and understanding. Okay, once you have identified, you have to analyze and understand what the problem is. Okay, then identify solution requirements or expectations. How to solve the problem that you have understood and analyzed. Okay, you are proposing this the solution. Then identify alternative solutions and choose the best course of action. But with our limited time, kemungkinan kita tak boleh nak provide alternative solution. Ini ya, apa ni, identifying alternative solutions, ini memang you kena buat dalam your real working environment. Bila you kerja nanti, ya, bila you nak solve problem, you cannot simply identify one solution. You have to provide alternative solutions and then choose the best course of action. Who determines the best course of action? The alternative solutions have to be presented to the top management to be discussed. And they will choose which solution to be implemented. So once the top management have chosen the best course of action, then only you will be able to design and implement the solution. Okay? Provide the alternative solution, let them or the top management to choose. Then once they have chosen it, you have to design and implement the chosen solution. Next, evaluate the results. And if the problem is not solved, return to step 1 or 2 as appropriate. If the results yang you dah provide through 5 and 6, you implement tapi problem tu tak solve pun, maknanya there is something wrong of you understanding and analysing the problem. Kena repeat balik the steps. Okay? Alright, so the simplified systems development process as opposed to the general problem solving steps, yeah, we have the system initiation that you start to identify the problem. Then systems analysis, this is where you do the analysis and identify solution requirements or expectations, right? In design, you will have to identify alternative solutions and choose the best course of action. Normally, this is done by the top management. Then design the chosen solution, right? And implementation is to implement the chosen solution and also to evaluate the results. So this is what we will be doing, okay, for the course. All right. Okay, this slide talks about the systems development process overview, starting from the system initiation deliverables, analysis, design, and implementation. All of this has been described here. Okay, and with regards to project and process management, it will be discussed further in topic 4. How to manage the project, how to manage the processes. You don't only manage the project, yeah, you have to manage the process. Okay, this is an ongoing activity that defines, improves, and coordinates the use of an organization's chosen methodology. Yeah, we will talk about methodology, development methodology in topic 3. Okay, or we call it as the process and standards for system development projects. Okay, now back to the slide. Of this one. Okay, back to this slide. Identify the problem. Okay, so with regards to your class project, let's relate this slide to your class project. Okay, now that the problem is already given, you don't have to identify the problem, but you will have to identify the organization that has the problem. You get what I mean? Hello? Are you
Fine. Do
here?
you mind repeating that again?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
For this, yeah, if you look at this slide, and I'm trying to relate it to your class project, right? The first step is it says that the first step is to identify the problem. Now that the problem is given, from the slide that I have explained just now with regards to your class project, yeah, you know what the problem is. Now that you have to identify the organization that has the problem. What's the problem? Can somebody explain to me? From the slides of your project description, can somebody explain?
When I
Uh-uh.
believe that I don't have the slide on the Google Classroom, so I
Oh.
cannot refer to it.
Jap. I thought I have uploaded it.
I asked a few of my colleagues and they said the same. They don't have it on their account.
Subhanallah. You know what? I put it as a draft. Okay, I'm posting it now. Tapi CS264, they already have it. Okay. Dapat tak?
Dapat.
I said, thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that. Dia masuk dekat draft tadi. I didn't post it anyway. Okay. Alright. So, what's the problem that you have to solve?
The current situation is they are using a manual system
Okay.
for the customer, and then from the project we want to delete the or to make it online for ordering system.
Okay. Yes, online grocery. Okay, online grocery, ya, in the sense that sekarang ni kalau nak beli barang, customers kena pergi physically kepada kedai yang kita panggil sebagai brick and mortar. Okay, so you kena identify kedai yang willing to give cooperation to you all kalau you nak come up dengan portal untuk kedai tersebut yang mana not only to have a website but also the consumers or customers are able to purchase products via online through web application. So that's a problem. Okay. Alright. So the next step, analyze and understand the problem. Itu secara ringkas yang saya describe tadi secara ringkas ya. You have to, ini yang kena identify siapa stakeholders ni. Ya. You kena identify stakeholders in order for you to analyze and understand the problem. You cannot simply assume. Now, this is the biggest problem with developers. Developers tak boleh assume. Right? You will have to identify who the stakeholders are, right? And then ask them the details on how the current situation or the current flow of the business activities. Itu satu dalam slide itu tadi. Yang satu lagi macam mana dia categorize the products that they sell. Right? You have to understand, analyze that. Before you can actually propose what functionalities should be on the system. Okay? Faham tak?
Slowly digesting all of it.
Yeah, slowly. All right, inshallah. Okay. I believe that the current, for you to understand the current process flow about purchasing products, tu tak ada masalah sangat lah. It's just a very conventional way of purchasing things. Kan? Customers pergi kedai, sekarang ni kena scan dulu apa semua, dan masuk kedai bawa trolley, and then they just masukkan barang yang nak beli dalam trolley, and then pergi dekat checkout counters and they will scan the products to display the price as well as the number the total amounts. Alright, itu sekarang. So sekarang ni bila kita nak buat the online grocery tu, we have to imitate, we have to imitate as if the customers are shopping using the cart along the shop virtually, all right, putting the products into the cart just like what you are doing in Shopee, can add to cart, okay? And as you add more items to the cart, the system should be displaying the amounts that you have to pay. Okay, and then bila you remove something from the cart, dia akan tolak lah amount tu. Okay, itu satu. Yang kedua ialah tentang how the shop categorizes the product. Because kita tak nak bila kita sediakan sistem kepada consumers tu atau kepada customers, kita longgokkan semua produk saja macam tu, tak ada categories. Okay, itu yang saya kata the best example. Banyak yang lain tapi saya selalu gunakan Tesco online. So they have categories of products. They have arranged it accordingly. So it's much easier for the consumers to find the products that they want to purchase. Okay. Right.
All right, understood.
Okay. Okay. So I believe that's wraps up the session today. Kita tengok balik dekat topics tu. Okay, look at the objectives. Okay, we have touched most of it. So regarding the skills to successfully function as an IS or systems analyst, what are the skills? Now, bukan sahaja you need to have the technical skills, ya. Nak menjadi a good systems analyst at the moment as the role, you also need to have soft skills. That's what we call it in the university. The soft skills whereby you are able to communicate and interact with people, not only to communicate and interact with system. Okay, that's why in the university, we are teaching you about the soft skills. You have to have the ability to talk to people, not only talking tak ada sebab, ya. Sekarang ni you nak berkomunikasi, you need to communicate in order for you to know what the users and other stakeholders would like to have from the system. What benefits should the system bring to them? Those things need to be conveyed to the stakeholders. You have to tell them we need to have these kinds of information in order for us to develop the system to solve the problems that you are facing right now. Okay, the skills to convince them, the skills to be able to elicitate the functionalities that they wish to have in the system. They may not be able to deliver in terms of technicalities. Kemungkinan mereka tak faham, from the technical perspectives. So you will have to translate. You will have to be able to talk in layman language, yang mana you perlu dapatkan data daripada mereka and come up with the technical blueprints before you can develop the system. That is the skill that is needed. Right? Not only the technical skills, human skills, soft skills are also needed. So jangan nanti bila nak develop system, terus fikir pasal komputer, terus fikir pasal sistem, terus fikir pasal teknologi. No. You have to understand the business flow. Macam mana nak faham apa business flow? You have to interact with people. Okay? All right. Other questions with regards to the slides, with regards to the project? at the moment?
When
Yeah.
I have some concerns regarding the
Yes.
project.
Sure.
So we need to develop a working prototype.
All right. What's the definition of a prototype? Prototype is a working model. Okay. So it's a hybrid of vertical and horizontal prototyping in the sense that first you have to know what are the functionalities to be there in the system. Yeah. But you will not be developing all of the functionalities. Only selected functionalities have to be developed, and you will have to show when you say develop tu maknanya daripada front end of the interface sehinggalah back end to the database. Tapi bukan semua functions yang you dah identify nanti. I believe that there will be a lot of functions, tapi tak semua. Okay?
All right, understood. So
Right?
you want a web app, is it?
Yes, web.
Web application.
Yes.
Okay, so I assume if I would develop an API, it would not be sufficient.
No.
No, needs to have a different end for web.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Okay.
Macam ni lah dia, most of the students before they they use Java connected to Oracle selalunya. Ada yang guna pakai MySQL juga as the database. Okay?
Alright, noted.
Jangan pakai Wix pula ya. Wix is a no-no. Ataupun Google Sites, janganlah. Itu hanya untuk website sahaja. Okay? Alright. Okay guys, any other questions?
No, madam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. No questions. Alright, thank you then. So, thank you for attending this session. So, insyaAllah, untuk further elaboration of the project ataupun apa-apa lagi nak tanya, kita boleh tanya masa tutorial nanti. I will put up the tutorial questions for tutorial 2. So, pada waktu tutorial nanti, you will get access to the questions. And also, now, start finding the organisation as your stakeholder. Okay, tengok balik dalam slide dan saya minta the business card of the person in charge from the organisation. Okay, so you have this week and next week to identify the potential organisation as your stakeholder. Yeah, by next week, okay, you should be providing with the business card. Now, for groups, yeah, make sure you have appointed a group leader, because there are submissions yang kami hanya perlukan group leader sahaja hantar. Bila concerning projects, normally kita akan minta group leader sahaja yang hantar. Okay, so make sure that you have appointed a group leader. Alright? Okay, guys. If you don't have any questions, then that would be all for today. Thank you for attending this session. Inshallah, we'll meet again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
Madam.
Thank you, madam.